What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called The Ninth Legion. This is a game that is, I don't know if it's like a follow-up or like a spin-off or what you would classify it as, but either way, this is the following game to the previous King Arther game that came out a little while ago, and it uses all of the same systems, it's got all the same combat, it's like all the same stuff going on. We're going to take a look at it today for about 30 minutes and see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or pass on. I think I've played for about 2 or 3 hours now. I've gone through the first couple missions and played around with it, and I think I'm ready to levy my thoughts for and against the game, in case you were curious. This is a game that speculates what might have happened to the 9th Roman Legion, which I guess in history and lore, you'll have to forgive me, my Roman history is not very good, but the 9th Legion I think went missing somewhere in Britannia. This game posits what happened to them. They went to Tartarus, and they became the Undead, where they fight on in eternity, attempting to reestablish the glory of the 9th Legion. And so we have landed now in Avalon, and we are directly going up against the Kingdom of Camelot and Avalon and all that kind of stuff, trying to reestablish a new Rome. This game has base building, it has tactical RPG combat, it has level ups, it has all that kind of good stuff in case you're interested in it. It's got skill points and buildings that give you buffs and objects that make you stronger and all those kinds of things. So far, the game's been a little bit wonky for my tastes. There's definitely like some oversights and things that probably could have been cleaned up throughout the course of the game. But for right now, the game is not terrible. I played the first game, and while my recollection of the first game is not altogether that good, my observation thus far has been, if you liked the previous game, you will probably be able to forgive the flaws of this title and enjoy this one as well. Damn, he got like buffed up right there. That kind of sucks. I guess just kill the bandit, I suppose. Just wipe him out. We got another attack right there. So, like, what are you seeing in front of you right now as we beef in our Roman armor with all of these, like, medieval knights? So, effectively, you've got a number of little pieces of information on each of your characters. You've got your HP. You've got your armor. Damage is flat mitigated by armor. So, the amount of armor you have, it lowers the damage of a hit by that much. And then once they get through all of it, the armor is gone for good. You can only restore it a couple of ways. But then they start dealing damage to your HP, and boy howdy, in this game, do you go down fast once they start dinking your overall HP. We'll probably finish you off right here, maybe? I don't know who I should finish off or who I should work on here. I guess less damage is less damage, so we'll get rid of you just in case the flame debuff wasn't going to do it. We'll keep these guys back in the rear. I'll probably try to light up all of those dudes with a little AoE action right there. But you've got different types of AP. You've got green AP and you've got yellow AP. Yellow AP can only be used in the case of movement, whereas green AP you can use for like whatever you want. We'll go ahead and laser that guy on down. Is he permanently dead? Sometimes the enemies aren't permanently dead and they can like come back if they're hero units or whatever. You can reserve your AP at the end of the turn if you have any greens remaining. I wish he had one more AP to move. I really wish he had one more AP to move. Bummerooski. All right, well, let's go ahead and see what we got here. That guy burned to death, which is nice. We blocked both those attacks, which is good for us. We blocked that attack, which is very nice for us. Our main guy over here with the big shield, he's effectively the attached bodyguard for this guy who's like the head of the Legion, come back from the dead. All right, we got fire running around right now. I can take that. Let's start working on this guy a little bit, I think. Wow, you one-shotted him, you maniac. Okay, proud of you, G. Let's move over here and finish them off. I don't think there's going to be too much that he can do, so I would just kind of like get him inside of cover. His armor's starting to look a little bit scruffy. Those guys look like they're in cover as well, but I'm kind of scared to move him up because he's got no HP. There's little events and things on the map that you're going to run into. I ran into an event, and said event made it so that he loses like all of his HP But the upshot to losing all of his HP is that we thinned out a fight that we're going to have to take on in the future. It killed a whole bunch of, so there was like a ghost in a graveyard that was like, if you give me your HP and answer my riddles 3, I will aid you in the coming fight. And so I aided him in the coming fight, and that's why he's at low HP, is because the guy nuked a whole bunch of the enemies for us. So I'm kind of like letting him hang back right now because I'm a little bit concerned that they're just going to arrow his ass. I guess he can javelin that guy, just like fill him with the spirit of the Pelem, I suppose. Over here, Octavius can't really catch this guy. What do I have that I can hit this dude with? Can you get him with a ranged attack from right there? Yeah, at least get something on him, because this guy is running around right now. Almost, but not quite. Almost isn't. Horseshoes and hand grenades, man. I guess Octavius keep putting pressure. I think he's going to die on his turn from fire, though. So, like, why are we even playing this turn? I can get out of this right now. The voice acting in this game, a very, very big weak point for this title. The voice acting is not very good. However, you're going to go out, like, it's like bargain. Like, it's the kind of voice acting that's so bad that you kind of wonder to yourself, like, they probably would have been better off with AI voices. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, I hesitate to stoop to that level of talking about someone else's work. But in this case, it's particularly egregious. It was bad enough that I got to the point that I was like, maybe I'll just turn off the voiceovers and read everything in my head. It's like that level of terrible, which I can only think of a few times off the top of my head where that's actively happened, where I'm like, maybe I'll just turn off the voices. For right now, we're on an away mission, so basically you have a base, just like in XCOM. You build it up with resources and things that you find around the map. There are different facilities that will give your characters passives and buffs and make them stronger and make them better inside of a combat situation. It'll have different, like, gods you can worship. You can assign these guys to different crafting stations and stuff to get different bonuses out of it. I don't know. Let me save first before I swag on into this thing.
Help me!
That's the plan. That's what I would like to do. I don't know if it's gonna go like that, but that would be my preference. That formation feels fine to me because we always act first anyways, so I'm not really too concerned about how this is gonna go down. You put rotating shields on him because I'm about to jump him in and do something very aggressive. We will move up to here, and we will do a leaping attack on the Manhunter. He got one-shotted, which is great. With you over here, we're going to scoot you forward ever so slightly. Maybe put a little bit of smoke on him just to get his armor down. You've got enough left. He can run a buff on himself that gives him like a 25% chance to deal double damage. That 25% chance to deal double damage, I would say that it matters. If you get that at the right time, it's going to work out real great for you. And we'll go ahead and necrosis that guy so that he's on his way out. We'll move the big bruiser tank guy over to this side. We'll move her over to here. She's got a couple of different abilities. So, like, I can re-average out everybody's HP right now, which I think I'm going to do because Florianus isn't looking great right now. And then we will conserve all of our remaining APs except for you. You run a damage buff on yourself. Oh, he didn't die. I'm shocked. I fully expected him to die horribly. Okay, ate all that up right there. That's good. He's on a defensive stance. It's a little bit of a bummer, but that's the way that life goes. They've got a lot of really heavy armored guys inside of here, and we've got other problems coming from our left as well. We've got like a minute or two to deal with it. I bet that guy hits like a truck. That guy seems like he's going to hit really hard. Oh, a healer. Beautiful. Me when I'm healing myself in a combat. Whee! This is so fun. Me when the enemy heals themselves. Ree! The game is cheating. Over here. Let's go ahead and light up a couple guys on this side. I'm running an idol right now back at my base that gives everybody burning on their attacks, which is great because when enemies take a turn, they lose like 5 or 6 HP, which in a game where people have 18 HP is a really good buff. However, that having been said, if there's a downside to it, it's got kind of like the Darkest Dungeon thing going on. There's a downside to that. And the downside is thusly that... There we go. Let's see if we can knock some armor off these nerds. The downside is that if I end my turn anywhere but next to a burning enemy, I get the chilled debuff, which reduces my AP by 25% or 33% or something like that. And so it's kind of not great. I can throw a javelin out at him. I don't know if that's like a good use of my time, though. Maybe I'll line him up right here. He's got a bunch of, like, temporary HP. Yeah, I guess go ahead and make sure... Oh, you critted him. Look at you over here, you machine. Look at you over here doing machine-like things. You guys... That hallway is going to get murky real quick. I guess just get him lit up. It's not going to do too much for us, but we'll put you right there. We'll have you conserve your AP for the next turn. And I think that's everybody's turn taken care of.
Kill the merchant. You got me good.
No, don't do that, dude. Don't kill the merchant. That's the whole reason why I'm here. This could be problematic. He's running for his life, which is a good sign. I thought he was just going to stand there, so that's good. That guy has so much armor, though. Let's see if we can lock down the priest over here. That might be a little overly aggressive, but I'm going to see if I can lock him down real fast. On this side, we've got things to deal with for sure. Let's kill you off. Kill you off. I'll probably try to run a flank around that way. I'm a little bit worried to bring my mage in here. She can still do something if she goes to right there. She needs 5 AP, though, to summon birds. And I kind of want to summon birds here. There we go. Give me some birds so that they got, like, other stuff that they've got to focus on for right now. I guess I'll bring the mage up. I feel nervous about it, but I'm going to do it. And then as far as Florianus goes, maybe have him hang out right there. I'm playing aggressively right now because I don't want my merchant to die, but we will see what transpires here. Armor's looking kind of bad. That's okay. I'll take the burning on him. The other birds, I think, aren't going to be able to get there, though. You move to there. We can't get a leaping strike from right there. Damn. This is going to become a problem very quickly. Laser him. There we go. He's been death lasered. Florianus. Maybe soften up a target right there. I was going to say, though, he's in cover, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get that done. You just move up aggressive. Like, I don't think we really have a choice. We got to save this guy. So that's kind of the way she goes for right now. Is everybody all drained? Hopefully he lives. I don't really have any CC or like anything that's going to shut that guy down. So we're in a bit of a tough spot right now. In fact, I don't quite know how I'm going to get out of it. I don't think I have any utilities that are really going to help me in this situation. I'll send the tank over there, but like they're fighting behind that debris, which is heavy cover, which means I can't really ranged attack my way into there to peel him off. This is a really bad spot for him to get pinned down. Yeah, maybe throw the javelin at him. See what we can do here. Start stripping some health. That'll probably do, I guess. Like, I think I can get one of them. The question is, can I get two of them? Oh, and they're just focusing on him, dude. Okay. All right. we're going to have to get tactical about this thing. I can take him out, but I need to spread it around to save AP. Can I distribute health? Oh, it didn't work. Okay, he doesn't count as a team member. We'll finish him off at least.
Tartarus awaits.
Keep blasting, but, like, I don't think we're going to be able to strip him off unless... Actually, I've got my shield. Oh, it'll let me cast the shield on him. Thank you. I don't know. Whoever the gods are right now. I don't even know. Jupiter? Mars? I don't know, dude. Whoever it was, thank you. That'll at least buy him another turn. But we have to kill this guy in one turn, and he's got a decent amount of HP and armor left, and I can't move up that back avenue right there to flank him, so he's like in a really, really tough spot. This is a bit of a headache. Oh, we might have lucked out right there. Okay, so he only swung once, but he did put up a defensive buff. If I can shield bash him back... and he actually gets the knockback. There we go. And then I can pinch him right there, maybe? Yeah, move all my guys up. I need to get into that little nook right there, though, although I might have just hosed myself. Keep indecisiveness is filling my body right now. Oh, he blocked the javelin, dude. Yeah, I guess burn him. Like, it'll at least strip some armor. It's not gonna do much else, but... man, how am I gonna get myself out of this? He's got, like, one turn left. Oh, dude, and he took the attack of opportunity. Oh, buddy, this is bad. Let's see if we can stack up enough nonsense on him to kill him, maybe. It's down to the wire. And we didn't get the armor strip right there either. Hey, we got it right there. Whew, down to the wire on that one, man. That had me stressed, dude. Oh, man.
To these monsters.
Oh, buddy.
Saving my life. If you don't mind, I'll wait here until it is truly safe to leave. See you at the colony.
You are only alive because I vouch for your loyalty, Seminus. Never forget that.
Make sure your supplies reach Nova Roma.
We pulled it out, man, but that one was a little bit too sketchy for my blood, dude. You got me stressed out right now. We're kind of like down to like no resources, no armor, no nothing. And that room right there is a nightmare. Like this big pile of debris right here gives full cover to everything that's near it. So when he ran over this direction, he actually kind of killed himself. Like I think he was trying to make it to the door, but he couldn't make it to the door in time. Luckily, our one hope right there was the damage shield, which I was able to put on him. But when you complete a mission, you can go around the map and loot everything if you want.
Thank you, Tribunus, for letting me join you.
You fought well, and I am grateful for your help.
I'd gladly join your ranks. I want to help your conquest.
Okay. Help me with my conquest, then. But you complete a mission, you're going to get some XP, it's going to level up your characters, it's going to collate all your loot and all the stuff that you have laying around. This stuff, as far as I can tell, is generated randomly in kind of like a Diablo fashion, and you're also going to get rewards. You're going to get gold, and you're going to get building resources so that you can go back to town and make the place a little bit more livable. I have good news for you, Gaius Julius. After saving the life of Seminus the merchant, he decided to set up his trading post in Nova Roma. His wares are now available to you should you require exceptional goods here on Avalon. I would say that qualifies as good news, sure. Good news indeed, and so you're going to unlock new parts of your city. Now, I haven't noticed, I've bought a couple upgrades. None of the buildings have upgraded when I do that. I do think that that's a detail that got maybe thrown out, or maybe it's like thresholds after you buy like a certain amount of upgrades. But either way, I was hoping that when you bought upgrades for these areas, they would get little lanterns and little braziers and like little people walking around and stuff like that. So at the city, this used to be an undead necropolis, all right, and we took it back because we are the undead. Leveling up in this game, there's a little bit of choice. There's a little bit of choice. So basically, every character has this going on. Every time you level up, you get 2 skill points. You can buy a major ability. All of your active stuff is up here. All of your passive stuff is down here. Once you buy an ability, they've got modifiers that you can add to them to make them even better. Those usually cost 1 skill point. And so you've got to decide if you want to have like lots of abilities and lots of like ideas and things that you can play around with, or if you want to be highly specialized to do one job extra spicy nasty style basically. And so those are things to keep in mind. For him right here, I need anything that makes him a little bit more resilient, dude. I mean, 10% more damage is nice, except that we only hit for 7 to 11, so that's like, what, 1 more damage? Bleeding would be good. Bleeding would be nice, but he's already got that. And then it looks like 50% weapon damage for bleeding effects, so that makes him bleed even harder. That might not be a bad idea to pick up. Allies get 10% weapon damage on their next attack for each unit the hero kills. Okay. You lose less AP from heavy armor sigils, or you can be immune to opportunity attacks. Immunity to opportunity attacks is pretty spicy. I'll probably take that since he's supposed to be kind of like a dual-wielding Gladius maniac. There's equipment. It doesn't change the way that your character looks. That's a little bit of a bummer. I would have liked to have seen that added from the last game. The last game, I don't think your armor changed either. But I'm the kind of person that I like to see a visual representation of progress inside of my units. And, like, if you compare this game to another game that came out 3 or 4 years ago called Expeditions Rome, I think Expeditions Rome is just like a better version of this game. So if you're on the fence about it, the last game in this series is still $45 on Steam, which is quite pricey. Like at $45, I expect basically perfection out of a game. It can have little tiny flaws or whatever, but I expect the full presentational menus and whatnot to be there. So that if this one is similarly priced, I would recommend you just go check out Expeditions Rome. It's probably on steep discount right now. But let's run through here and see what kind of upgrades we have going on. So I do have a legendary weapon for a Praetorian, which would be nice, the Dawnbringer, which also increases our burning damage, which we are running that statue that gives us burning damage on every attack, and plus 5 armor piercing's pretty disgusting too. I had to do like a Simoleon's, what was the name of it? Simoleon's something rather. It's a word puzzle. In order to get this, I went to a graveyard, and I remember it from my number theory courses back when I was a programming CS major. Smoleon's theory or something like that. Is that what it is? I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically where you've got like 3 guys, and one of them says that I'm lying, and the other one says that they're telling the truth, and then the third one is being like, well, that guy's lying right there, and then you've got to like mentally go through it, and you increase the amount of guys until you get really good at processing that. It was 5 guys that were talking about how old they are in relation to the other 4 guys, and you had to guess properly. It wasn't too hard of a puzzle, but it was a puzzle. We actually have a whole bunch of the same stuff over here. I'll probably take that one to get the bonus armor from resting. Do you have any rings or anything that are kind of like spicy? So he's got plus 2 damage against brigands, vassals, and picts. I think we have another one that makes us deal more damage against the 9th Legion betrayers. Reflects 3 damage to your melee attackers, plus 2 damage during the first fight after a rest. You get plus 1 unbreakable armor when you're outnumbered. We got more movement AP right there. Dodge your first opportunity attack. I think I'll just keep him with what he's got for right now. Over here on Plutonium. With Plutonium, I don't remember what I wanted to grab. I think Steel Vigor is a really good idea. It steals all the enemy's AP and gives it to us. So that's pretty good as far as like the efficiency of a game like this goes. For Octavius, you know, I'll take anything on Octavius that like increases armor or reduces the chance that I'm going to lose armor. Physical debuff resist might be nice. Block up by 5% is pretty spicy, though, too. Does he have a taunt? A taunt would have saved me during that last fight. Let's get taunt. I think taunt is going to be one of those things that's going to pay dividends. We'll go ahead and give him the Dawnbringer because it deals a lot more damage, so it's a huge come up for him. I didn't see anything in here that had me crazy excited. Like, he's going to lose some HP right there, but that does give him an extra armor so that he's got 9 armor, which means it's going to take even longer for the enemy to actually hurt his HP. So I'd be okay with that. We can also get the vitality back right there, but since he's going to be taunting and reflecting damage, we're going to give that to him. I do have some consumables. What does this do? Oh, it's a taunt scroll. It costs 1 AP. How much does Kant... yeah, it costs 3, so I mean, we'll put it on him. On her, I'll put the health potion over here. For her... more damage on the birds seems like a really good idea. But Flame Shield would also stack nicely with the thorny thing we've got going on in our taunt build. So I'll probably try to do that right there. As you do get into the game, there are more options and there are more things that effectively give you more ideas for what you could potentially do in combat. For you, you're brand new. I don't know what I want to do with you. Volley's nice. Heart Piercer's nice too. Let's go with Volley. A good multi-attack is always nice. Everybody has perks. You're supposed to read these perks in order to figure out exactly what jobs they're best suited to at various areas of your base. We do have the Keister over here, the Quaestor. I don't really know how to say that word. But we can buy items from him. There's also upgrades that you can buy inside each of these buildings that will make you stronger. So inside the War Council, I get more building materials now. And it looks like we're going to get decrees later on that'll help us get more AP and whatnot too. Inside the Larium, I think I'm going to get rid of that guy. I like that one because I don't really use the campfires for vitality anyways. So there's campfires in every mission that will allow you to either restore your HP or restore your armor. In general, you're always going to be restoring your armor because if your armor is broken, you can get like 3 tapped. But chances are they didn't get through all your armor if you played well, which means your HP actually largely gets left alone in this game. So I don't really care about losing the ability to restore my vitality, especially since she can redistribute our HP anyways with her ability. And so, like, I'm kind of okay with it. We can get mental debuff resist over here. We can activate another LAR. I don't think I have any LARs that, like, super excite me at the moment. Sometimes the downsides on these LARs aren't quite as good as the buff they give you. Inside the training ground, though, we can get plus 5% HP. We can get physical debuff resist. We can play around with some stuff. What do we have inside the enchanted tower? Using scrolls are free. That'd be nice. More relic dust. So if you have duplicate items over here, you can drag them in and you can break them. And then you're going to get relic dust. And you can use relic dust to create legendaries, basically, that are going to be like major game changers as you go through the game. And these rotate every time you do a mission. And so there's a little bit of randomness and kind of item seeking on in there as well. I'll probably take the physical debuff resist right there. I do have a lot of extra items too, so I kind of want to break them. There's a lot of things over here that, like, I'm not crazy excited about. I guess you can only sacrifice other legendaries over here, so I guess duplicate legendaries. Can I sell off this stuff that I have in my inventory to the merchant to get money? I can? Good, because, like, most of this stuff is not that exciting to me right now. So, like, if you've got extra cash you want to throw around, I got extra stuff that you can just have. Like, you can just take that. With the Flamina, though, what is her current torch doing? +2 burning damage. That gives +2. That gives +2, -1, +3, backstab attacks, longer burning duration. It's basically just like a flat upgraded version. I can take that. We got a little bit of money, but I don't think we can buy building materials. However, potions can be useful. So, like, I would not be against grabbing a few potions. We've also got an armor potion right there, which is spicy. Take that off, and you get an armor potion instead. There we go. Armor potion's good. That might save me a little bit once we're actually, like, in the thick of it. Item buying cost is lowered by 20%. Go ahead and upgrade it. Yeah, I would love to see little torches get added to the buildings and, like, little stalls and stuff being added out front for that. For right now, there is morality in this game. You're going to make choices. Your characters all have preferences. Some of them are honorable to the gods. Some of them are not. Some of them are bloodthirsty. Some of them are not. Depending on the decisions you make, different people are going to move their alignment chart up, and they get bonuses for the moralities that you take and the gods that you dedicate to along the way. Let's get back on out here, and we'll take a look at another mission. Tribunus, I am concerned that the Flamina is allowing all sorts of strangers into the city of Nova Roma and lets them practice their strange religions. This must stop. Live and let live. That tended to be like the Roman way, is they would just, like, install a governor that just kind of left things how they were as long as everybody was loyal and paid their taxes. That's honestly a big chunk of why Rome worked. They sort of gave you a plata or plomo type deal where, like, you can fall into the empire and we'll just leave things alone, but you'll be under Roman rule. Or we'll just burn the whole place to the ground and salt the earth. That's kind of how the Romans like to do their business. We have the statue of Lupa over here. Do I have any other missions I can take on? I do. There's a level 8 mission over here in the tombs. It looks like we need to get a message to Emperor Sulla. We're up against the Lost. I do like how the game tells you what you're going up against so that you can re-kit out for damage bonuses and stuff like that. But it looks like we get another character over here too. So let's go ahead and chuck on into here and see who this new character is. I'll be honest, I don't think I need 2 mages.
This place is quiet. But I hear the dead souls whispering. This is the week of the Parentalia, when the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead is thinner. We must reach the deepest part of the catacombs to find the Pit of Souls. Septimus Sulla, the priest of Orcus, is calling you. Fearless commander of the 9th Legion, hear my words in the depths of Tartarus. We have found our way out of the pits. We have arrived to Avalon, the other world of Britannia that once knew your wrath and grace, heir to Hadrian the Great. Walk through this gate to join your servants with your mighty army.
What is wrong, Flamin?
I don't think that Emperor Sulla can hear us.
Others seem to have heard us just fine. Watch out!
Oh, zombies, dude. Who doesn't love fighting an endless horde of zombies? Okay. So at the outset here, we're going to have to do a little bit of tackly man's business. But the good news is I have the full use of all of my AP for once. So that's good. Let's just start throwing spears and dealing damage and causing mayhem, shall we? Let's light a couple zombies on fire. Good stuff. Knocking them on down. But after playing the game for about 3 hours, I think it's time for us to talk about my thoughts about the game, if you're interested in hearing those. Earlier on, I think I was speculating. In this video, I think I was speculating about the price of the game. I actually took a minute, and I went into post, and I looked it up inside my email, and they sent me a little press pack, and the press pack said that the final pricing of this game is $20. So in that case, I actually don't think this is a terrible purchase. I think if you can get over the lack of solid voice acting, especially the unit barks, I think if you're okay with some of the combat actions being kind of impactless and a little bit wispy, and I think if you can get past the typos and the mismatched dialogue spoken versus text, it's actually a competent, if somewhat too intense for me personally, strategy RPG. What ruled me out there is just that I'm bad at games. That's pretty much it. And this game expects you to be on your A game mentally at all times. The odds are stacked in your face. This game is going to outnumber you all of the time. And so you need to play well, even on normal difficulty, or at least not be making huge misplays if you want to make it through. You're going to have to re-roll a fight here and there. I think I had 1 or 2 fights that I had to load a save real fast because I either messed up the objective or I just needed to change my strategy around for how I went after stuff. You're not going to breeze through. That being said, there does seem to be a decent amount of customization when it comes to characters and character growth and abilities. They all have their own trees, they all have their own abilities, and in the first few hours, I've unlocked 6 of them, and it seems like there's going to be more of them. You've also got a lot of leeway with the customization on items and idols and what things you build up in your town. So there's stuff here. I don't think many of the characters have had much characterization or anything, or like personal storylines so far, But, like, I think at $20, a lot of the visible flaws here are going to be forgivable given the scope of what they're going for with their combat system. So, like, I don't think that this is a great game that is going to knock out XCOM. It's not going to knock out any of the kings of the tactical RPG genre. But the gameplay itself, like the combat, the tactics, the movement, that kind of stuff, it's competent, and you will have to sit down and think from time to time while staring at the grid if you want to get the job done. Like, the game will bear down on you, and you will need to use all of the tools at your disposal. Like, nothing is really useless so far from what I've seen. It's an alright 7 out of 10 tactical RPG with a few glaring flaws. I played the previous game a bit. I don't remember it super well, but I mean, I think most of the things that were problematic before are still problematic in this title, but the core gameplay ends up putting this one on its shoulders. So I think that if you liked the first game, you will probably also enjoy this one, unless the voice acting runs you off or you hate the Romans as a time period or something like that. Don't expect Cyberpunk or like a Baldur's Gate level of sophistication out of this game when it comes to its storytelling, its characters, or its narrative. But from what I've seen in about 3 hours, the game itself seems to play fine in a unique universe that we haven't really seen before. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were messing around with King Arther Legion IX, which is actually, I think, an indie game. I just checked the page, and it says Neocore published it and developed it, so it's technically indie, I guess. They handled everything on both ends. I'll be back tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, but up until then, it's time for me to go. Bye, folks.